You ever wonder what's really inside those sleek, modern buildings that power our world? I'm not talking about the fancy lobbies or the cool rooftops cafes. Nope, it's the hidden stuff, the infrastructure, that actually makes all that innovation possible. So, in this explainer, we're going to dissect a truly next-generation building and see what really makes it tick. All right, so let's start with a big question. Imagine you're tasked with building a brand new AI factory, or maybe a massive high-performance computing center. Where do you even put it? I mean, you can't just stick it in any old office tower. The demands of these industries are they're on another level, way beyond what a typical glass and steel skyscraper can handle. And that's exactly why we have to completely rethink what a building even is. You see, for today's top tech companies, it's not just about four walls and a roof anymore. It has to be an active, living part of their technology toolkit. And here's the heart of the problem, right? Your standard commercial building, it just wasn't built for this stuff. It fails miserably. When you try to bring in high-tech tenants, you're looking at insane costs and huge delays trying to retrofit everything. I mean, let's be real. You can't just plug a supercomputer into a regular wall socket, right? Okay, so this brings us to the real core of this whole thing, the unseen infrastructure. We're talking about the stuff you don't see. The two most critical, invisible elements that make a building genuinely future-proof. And what are they? It all comes down to two things: raw, unfiltered power and just immense strength. But, total power isn't the whole story. It's also about density. This number here, 3.7 kVA per 100 square feet, that's how much juice is available right where you need it. And let me tell you, that is an incredibly rare find. What it means in the real world is a company can just stack up racks of high-performance servers and never, ever have to worry about tripping a breaker. And it's not just about the power, right? It's also about pure strength. In certain specialized zones, the floor can support a staggering 1,000 kilograms per square meter. Think about that. This is absolutely critical for all that heavy equipment. We're talking server racks, huge industrial chillers, sensitive lab machinery, stuff that would literally crack the floor of a normal office building. Okay, this slide right here, this really puts it all into perspective. It's like a tale of two buildings. On one side, you've got this purpose-built beast. On the other, a typical fancy grade A office. And it's not even close. The power density, more than 5 times greater. That means you can pack in way more computing power. The floor strength, more than double in the important areas, so you can handle that heavy gear. And the power redundancy, it's built in from day one, which, believe me, saves a fortune compared to trying to add it later. So you heard me mention N+1 redundancy. What on earth is that? Well, it's basically a fancy engineering term for extreme reliability. All it means is that for every single critical part of the system, there's at least one independent backup ready to take over instantly if something fails. For a company running massive computations 24/7, this is everything. It means basically zero downtime. It's absolutely non-negotiable. And get this, the power isn't a one-size-fits-all deal. It's designed to be completely scalable. So a company can move in and start with a pretty standard office setup, low utilization. But then as they grow, they can scale all the way up to a high utilization profile for a full-blown AI factory, all without ever having to move. That kind of flexibility is a massive, massive strategic advantage. All right, so we've covered the invisible stuff, the power, the strength. Now let's talk about the things you can actually see, the architecture. Because a truly innovative space isn't just about being strong. It also has to be incredibly adaptable and, actually designed for the people who work inside. Really, you should think of the architecture here as a framework for total flexibility. You've got these huge, expansive floor plates. The columns are set really far apart. We're talking almost 11 meters. That creates these massive, open, customizable spaces. The ceilings are super high, which is great for complex ventilation systems or just tall equipment. And the flat slab construction, that just means no awkward beams getting in your way. It's basically a giant blank canvas for innovation. And of course, you can't talk about design without talking about location, right? This building is just 50 meters from a metro station. That's not just a nice little perk, it's a huge strategic choice. It makes the commute so much easier, which keeps employees happy, and it seriously supports a company's sustainability goals by making public transport the obvious choice. Okay, but with all this talk of immense power, there's a big question, right? What about the building's conscience? In today's world, you just can't have high performance at a high environmental cost. It doesn't fly. The most forward-thinking companies out there, they demand workspaces that are as green as they are powerful.
And sustainability is baked into every single aspect here. We're talking about a building built to the super demanding LEED Gold standard. It's even targeting 100% of its power from solar farms. It supports green commuting with EV chargers and bike stands. They even have this cool concept called green leasing, where they actively work with the tenants to hit environmental goals together. All right, let's tie this all together. When you combine every single one of these elements, the power, the design, the sustainability, what you get is something way more valuable than just a place to work.
Think about it. Those key pillars we've been talking about, massive power, incredible strength, super flexible design, and a real commitment to sustainability. They all come together to create more than a building. They create a competitive tool. For a truly innovative company, this kind of infrastructure isn't just another line on the expense report. No, it's a strategic investment that directly empowers and speeds up the very work they do. And really, this quote from our source material just says it all, doesn't it? This is the new reality. It's no longer enough to just provide office space. Now it's about providing a genuine strategic advantage. And that really leaves you with one big question, right? How many other buildings are going to follow this model into the future?